Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive Papa Danny Limelight, United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance blog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Poppy.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it.
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Who are those guys?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and what can we tell you? We are the Other Alliance Guys, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information around the National Wrestling Alliance and, these days, the various territories. United Wrestling Network, when it's running, for its independence around the world. My name is Tim. I go by Alliance Gold sometimes. This gentleman right over here in the middle is Championship Wrestling from Jeremy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir.
Yeah, you're looking well. You look good, vibrant, fresh.
Thank you.
And our fantasy booker extraordinaire, Dave Scooby. How you doing?
Doing good for a Sunday.
Good, yeah, for a Sunday. You got to work tonight? I got to work.
No, got tonight and part of tomorrow off. So.
Oh, fantastic!
Good deal.
Well, that's good. Well, what are we talking about tonight, fellas? We got a bunch of things to talk about. We are reviewing what we could get through, which is not a slag on it per se.
Right.
NWA Exodus is Rome, When in Rome 2 event. And I say what we could get through. We'll go through the results, but it was 3.5 hours long. And you can give me, guys, I don't know about you guys, but you can give me 3.5 hours of the best wrestling in the world. I can't do it in one sitting anymore, right?
No.
I got to break that stuff up. So it's a matter of timing. But we're going to look at that. Jeremy's going to talk about stage four of the 7 levels of hate between Adam Pearce and Colt Boom Boom Cabana back in 2012. Is that right? 2012?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And then our friend Mr. Scooby is doing some fantasy booking, saying who's got to stand the F up or who's got to get the F out of the NWA. He actually put it much more politely and pleasantly than I did, but that's essentially at the crux of it this evening. We hope you guys are out there are well. If you're in the chat, give us a holler. We'll get your comments up on the screen. Well, let's start off talking about NWA Exodus Pro, guys. Like I said, 3.5 hours long. At some point, we have to go to just kind of here's some of the results in the middle. But the show kind of started off with Aaron Stevens, like an interlude. I didn't realize it was an interlude at first, but Aaron Stevens saying he's not going to be on the show. It's a funny clip. He's not going to face Lord Crew, which is already a letdown for me because I love both those guys so much. I think they're both worth watching. But then they went in through this package where they did a Lord Crew package, which, Jeremy, you mentioned before we went on the air, it looked like it was, on a lower level of quality.
Yeah, that was an odd choice because it was definitely appeared to be intentionally done as it was cutting in between picture quality. It was going from looking like HD to 240p, and that's just no.
It was strange, but there were some, quality for the show overall was pretty good, and the rest of the package just seemed normal. There was Dante Casanova, who's your NWA Exodus Midwest champion. and who apparently loves the short arm clothesline. Is the short arm clothesline the worst finisher in pro wrestling? What do you guys think?
No, for me that would be the coup de grace, the double foot stomp.
The double foot stomp, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dave?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of these things that when you think finishing move, it has to be something that can be put on anybody of any size, weight, height, that kind of thing. But you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
It's one of these things that make something look devastating that would actually in real life put somebody out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there's so many finishers, and I mean, at one time, I mean, they've used roll-ups as finishers and all this kind of stuff. Just make it simple and easy for anybody to do and anybody to steal your finishing move and try it on you.
Yeah, I guess that short arm clothesline looks like it hurts anyway. I always thought maybe the heart punch might be the worst when Tyrus was doing the heart punch. Or
do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when Stu Bennett, Wade Barrett was doing that? What was the bull hammer elbow?
Oh yeah.
That was one that whenever I first saw it, I was like, but as he progressed with it, he got more of the facials in, and he got that wind up going. It did start to grow on me, but still, it still came across more as it should have been a setup instead of a finisher.
Yeah.
The spear, I think overall may be the worst. It's so overused. It's a football tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played football in high school, and I got up from every one of them. So I don't know. Well, I don't know, guys. Big Chris says there's only one finishing move. It's the one wing angel. What do you guys think of that one?
Is that that fucking thing that Omega does?
Yeah, Kenny Omega does. Yeah.
I mean, it does look fucking brutal, and I could see how modified just a little bit, you really could fuck somebody up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not very practical.
No, I guess it isn't. I always liked Orndorff's pile driver as a kid for the best, and that looked like you could just devastate somebody for life with that thing, right?
Well, and I mean, it's one of these things that when you think finisher, it's do a setup to a finisher that can be done, like I said, to anybody at any time. And I mean,
in any situation,
logically, I mean, you think about it. I mean, like back in the day when Crush did the Kona Crush, and I mean, crushing somebody's skull, even if you're just clamping on, that'll put somebody out. You'll just pass out. I mean, somebody presses on the side of your head.
Yeah.
You're going down.
Yeah.
It's one of these that it can be done to anybody at any time. And I mean, if they're putting a move on you and you get your hands the right way and you just clamp down on their head, it's over. You're done with.
I don't know how we got into this. Probably because it's a show that we didn't watch all the way through.
I've always been a fan of Orton's fucking RKO.
Oh yeah, or the diamond cutter.
The cutter, yeah, and his ability to literally do that from any position in any situation, and another one that, again, modified just a little bit, really fucking somebody up. Yourself as well, but...
Yeah, the stunner, too. The stunner was always great, but...
Yeah.
Yes, that's probably top of the list for most popular out there, but there you go. Willie is here. Says Tyrus is going to be in his own sitcom. It's called The Cholesterols.
Wow.
Devin's going to try his hand at comedy here. I'll try one. Tyrus is so fat because he eats a lot.
Yeah.
If you're certain.
Fucking got me both times.
You're until Thursday. Try the veal. So back to this thing. Opening match after a really long interlude and number of video packages. Harley Morris and Hayden Backlund. I can see why he's got like the Backlund look. He, her name. He kind of has the look and the crazy Mr. Backlund. So I don't know anything about this guy versus Man Bun Jesus, can never say it without laughing, and Sam Beal. What'd you think of it, Jeremy?
Handsome Harley appeared to be related to himself.
I'm my own grandpa.
Man Bun Jesus looks like a Sami Zayn stunt double. Man Bun Beal and Backlund were pretty decent. Harley not so fucking much though.
No.
He was greener than collards.
Yeah, it was. It was an opening match from.
Yeah. He was definitely in the proper spot and definitely played the proper role in it. Fucking jobber to a T.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd you think, Dave?
Well, I mean, Man Bun Jesus and Sam Beal. I mean, they're a tag team. They dress alike. They had combo moves.
The gear.
I mean that
kind of an Outrunners look.
And then the frog splash to end it. That was great. I mean, the crowd was really behind them as a team, and I think it was a good match to start off with. And then having Backlund turn on Harley after the match and just pummel him and then just walk away. That's setting up for something. Whereas, I don't know. I mean, Handsome Harley, I'm like, I'd beat the brakes off him too if he used that name. That's a sacred name. It's Handsome Harley Race. And
I assume he got permission.
He's nowhere near. So I don't know what mirror he's looking in, but he sure is not handsome.
He looked. My wife fucking commented that he looked like Trey Parker, one of the South Park guys.
Oh yeah. See that. I mean, yeah, it was what it was, but like production was. I'm okay with production, and the camera shots are good throughout the entire event. Lighting. I don't know. I mean, it's indie lighting, so
choices were made.
Choices were made. Decisions must be abided by. Carson Drake emerges after this match, though, and he's got the NWA TV title. Very polarizing figure, Carson Drake. He talks about his briefcase. He trashes Dante Casanova. He can cash this thing in for any time he wants to. He's got a new case. He's wealthy. He reminds me of if you were doing like an SNL skit where someone was pretending to be Prince Charming, like a Taron Killian type, where he's like, like it's. But I can see the appeal for those that think he's good. Any thoughts on this spot, Dave?
I mean, it's one of these things that Carson Drake is a character that you either love or hate. And it's not I actually hate him. I don't like his character. Doesn't make me hate him. His character just it's a put off.
Right.
It seems he's faking his way through things. That he's trying to be somebody he isn't. And I'm like, okay, I've watched him wrestle. He's a good wrestler. It just what he's doing doesn't hit me.
No.
And there's been several wrestlers throughout history that they're good wrestlers. They don't connect with everybody. And he's one of them.
Yeah.
There's people that like him and cool. He's not a bad wrestler. He has a decent gimmick. The only thing I find really it's the little things I think that matter. And when they go, oh, it's Carson Drake. Oh, it's Carson Bartholomew Drake. Be consistent. When you refer to him as CBD or something. If he's going to use one name, make sure he's using that name everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So wherever he is, he's that character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's cool that they're tying him in with Exodus Pro and him being able to wanting to cash in and all. But I think on shows like this, they need to highlight their own wrestlers.
Right. I agree.
But it's one of these things that they're intertwining stories that hopefully down the line Casanova will be on Power more and it'll come to a head on Power.
Right.
So everybody can see it. So
He doesn't
we'll
seem
see.
authentic, does he? And that's the thing with Carson Drake, right? Doesn't seem plausible.
Yeah.
Speaking to Willie's thing here, his favorite tag team, the Slime Balls, they're up next and they're facing Lord Crew in a 2-on-1, kind of a double handicap match. And it's a handicap match for Lord Crew, but they are tied together. The Slime Balls are, because both are in the same ring at the same time. I didn't hate this match, surprisingly, but I'm a devout Lord Crew fan. What did you think, Jeremy?
I enjoyed this match more than I thought I would. I haven't seen the Slime Balls since back before we stopped watching, because I still, like you, I still haven't sat down and watched the watched any of NWA Power or anything since they decided to go off of YouTube. But I did see Jaden in the Alliance Discord asking what it was about the Slime Balls that people liked. And I think it's the chutzpah that they display. These kids are basically crash test dummies that are devoid of any idea that one day they'll physically be broken due to their willingness to take a lot of punishment. Because those kids, that was a lot. Lord Crew is brutal in the fucking ring. He reminds me so much of a throwback to a lot of your heavier handed big guys from the days of yore. You know, your Vaders, your Andersons, your Blanchards. You know, he is very believable looking in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
The Slime Ball's willingness to go in there and take that. I kind of see them as possibly maybe someday in the future having that kind of Nasty Boys type gig. You know, they would really fit that slot quite well.
If they were a little more serious and maybe some better gear and tune up that gimmick a little bit.
Yeah, and that'll kind of, and you know, they're still young guys, so. But I did see something there with them. It's learn to take the bumps a little better and you know, protect yourself. Make sure that when you do take a good bump, that it's for a proper reason and there's going to be a good payoff with it. You know, but they do have something, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What do you think, Dave? Lord Crew finishes this match with one of his big roundhouse kicks. Gets the pin.
Lord Crew is just an amazing athlete. I'd like to see him on a bigger stage. Use him on NWA before he does move on to something bigger and better.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things that of the NWA, like Exodus Pro, is whatever's happening on one show should translate to another. That Carson Drake in the NWA is palled up, or is, I wouldn't say taking advantage, but he is using the slime balls to his advantage, that he's their lackey, or that they're his lackey. So it would have made perfect sense for Carson Drake to interfere on their behalf in this match to try and help them win. And that would have been a setup for it falling back and not working and then getting pinned. I liked how it ended, but if you're going to follow one story, follow it from the NWA to the territories.
Yeah.
They're there wrestling.
Lost Dave there a bit.
Story to tell a story.
Yeah. Devin's a big fan of the slime balls, thinks they're awesome. We think they got a future, I think, is the general sense anyway, but Willie thinks otherwise. Not a big fan. But then we get PB Smooth, guys. Peanut Butter Smooth against Calvin freaking Tankman. Now, I haven't seen Calvin Tankman since MLW.
Yep.
And he looks like he's bigger than ever. I mean, he was never. Yep. He's always been a big guy, but wow, he looked big when I'm saying that, like, I don't know, maybe watch the weight. He looked really heavy, but he's always been a big guy anyway. And I think he's amazing to watch sometimes. And this was his debut match against Smooth. What did you think, Scoob?
I wrote down Battle of the Beasts. You had two big guys. One guy was big in size. The other guy was big in height. It was a true battle, and size won out in that they were battling each other, and it was one of these things of when you work with somebody the size of Pretty Boy Smooth, he has the height advantage on almost anybody that he wrestles. Having a weight advantage only works if you're able to work it in a way that you can pin your opponent. Towards the end, Calvin seemed to be running out of gas. He went to do some moves, and they weren't fully developed moves. They were moves that he went with that earlier in the match it could have worked, but like he picked him up for a backbreaker and didn't fully follow through with the backbreaker, and he seemed to almost drop him.
Yeah.
So it's one of these things that size does matter, but you have to work with your opponent to make things look as realistic as possible. Mm-hmm. And I like that these guys work a very realistic style. They're both big guys, and I think it's only setting up that if they bring Calvin Tankman back, he can go on and do some better things, but he shouldn't automatically win against a champion.
Yeah.
Pretty Boy Smooth is a good wrestler, but he's not all the way there yet. Right. Same thing with Calvin Tankman. Size can only take you so far. He has to have all the ability as well. And this was a good match to introduce Calvin to the Exodus Pro crowd. And there's no harm and no foul in him losing. but it just sets him up for him to go after somebody else to work his way back into a title picture. So I'm just hoping that he's able to do their next. I don't even know if it's called a pay-per-view or a signature live event. That it seems that Exodus is doing every other month. So their next one will be in May. So we'll see what rolls around in May if they do bring him back. But I thought it was a very good match, and it was just a battle of the beast. Two big boys beating the hell out of each other.
Before we get your thoughts, Jeremy, Devin Dowling, new baby boy like 2 hours ago.
Congratulations.
Just got home 2 hours ago from the 21st. Congrats, buddy. That's awesome. Good for you. Dave, Jeremy, Tim, these are all good names. That's all I'm saying. Just putting that out there. Jay, Jaden. I guess there's already a Devin in your family, so no DKM can't pitch that one. That's amazing. Congrats. That's fantastic. What did you think of the match? This is the one I was probably looking forward to the most, Jeremy.
So I got distracted watching Tommy Boy during this match. They were showing it on Smooth's forehead. It was right there at the hotel scene, and then we got I got to see the fat guy in a little coat. I haven't seen it in a while, so I was watching that. It sucks because I'm a huge fucking Tankman fan. All jokes aside, though, it was nice to see. It was nice to see Tankman again. The guy's a phenomenal athlete. Reminds me a lot of fucking Christ, Willie.
Tyrus Dowling. Anyway, carry on.
But it was overall it was a solid match for him. Smooth can tighten some things up, get some fucking Rogaine, hair club for men, whatever.
Shave that shit off. I don't know.
Just be done with it. Yeah. Hey, he would pull. He would look fucking menacing with the bald head. I just go straight fucking. Just go clean. He would with that fucking size. That would be an intimidating fucking look.
Yeah,
it really would. Instead, it come on up.
Yeah, listen. I don't know if Calvin Tankman's back after a first loss, but hope he is. Like Dave said, no harm, no foul. They can get something back. He can just come back all pissed off and beat the shit out of people. That's fine with me. I'm good. I'm gonna be good with that to see Calvin Tankman again. But I enjoyed it. We get Brandon Beretta out. Not a bad promo. Wants a Midwest title shot versus Dante Casanova. Seemed fine. Like good promo for like a show like this.
Yeah.
Then you got that you're about an hour into the show at this point.
Right.
Dante Casanova versus Anthony Green. Jeremy, what did you think of? First of all, like your Midwest titles right here at the first hour. But anyway, what did you think of the match?
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. We get through the rest. Have you watched it, Dave?
I watched parts of it. I skimmed through it. Dante is a very good wrestler. It's one of these that, as a Midwest champion, he's going to be fighting off people from every angle. So I like that Exodus Pro is actually setting up several challengers for him. But it's one of these things that, like, if you watch from the very beginning, Anthony Green had his little promo of, hey, I'm coming after you, blah, blah, blah. it wasn't a bad promo at the start, but it's one of these things that I think they're trying to do too much with everything. Run some of these promos in between matches.
Yeah.
That you have your guys talking, your commentators. All right, let's go to coming up next. We've got Dante Casanova defending the Midwest Championship against Anthony Green. Here's what Anthony Green had to say. Boom, send it to that. It's all putting it together in a style that you're looking forward to what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
It was a good match, but I mean, an hour ago they had the Anthony Green promo at the beginning of the show, and they had all these promos going on, and then they had the memorial, and it wasn't a bad thing, but everything just seemed to be clumped together.
Right.
If you were paying attention, as soon as the In Memory Of popped up, I was invested in that, and I had forgotten anything that happened before that.
Right.
So it's one of these things that if you're going to have challengers and promos done for an upcoming match, have it in between the matches to use it as a buffer from moving from one to another. Hey, we just heard from Anthony Green. Coming up next, he's going to show you what he was talking about and go right into it.
Right.
But I mean, it's Dante, if you watch him as a wrestler, I'm not going to say he's a 5-tool player, but he's working his way towards a 5-tool player. He can talk, he can wrestle, he has the looks. He connects well with the crowd. It's one of these things that you put him in there with the right person, and it's I'm not going to say it's going to be a 5-star match because I don't want to rate matches like on 5 stars. I don't want to be one of those Meltzer guys, but he doesn't seem to have bad matches. Even with a wrestler that isn't up to his caliber, he can always wrestle down to them, whereas a lot of wrestlers have a problem wrestling up to a better wrestler. He can simplify things and make it more of a, hey, let's go to a ground and pound, let's not do high moves, let's do this, let's do this. He's able to make his opponent look good in almost any situation. And that's what I like about a champion like this. He's their Midwest champion. He's not their heavyweight champion. He's working his way there. Hopefully down the line, we'll see more of him in the NWA proper. But this was a very good match, in my opinion. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I like things a bit differently. I would have started the show with this one, or at least had it right after the Handsome Harley fiasco that we saw. But anyway, that's just me. But I don't know. It was what it was. It was pretty, decent overall, I thought. Jeremy, anything to add on Casanova and Green?
So Casanova, from the video package that they did at the beginning of the show, great look. He's invested in his ring gear and shit, and that speaks a lot to me. Whenever you're investing money into your ring gear, you're serious about this. I really dug the look. The Green guy, I don't really remember too much about him, but overall, this is a card that I'm going to finish watching.
I'm probably not, to be honest. Hey, Rosville's here. Nice to see you, Roz. it was. I got the general gist of what we're looking at within the first 60, 80 minutes of a 3.5 hour show. And, like everybody, I got a life, and I'm probably not going to. I also saw the main event, which we're going to talk about as well past this. But, I mean, like we said, the matches are good. The sound is good. Lighting's okay. Production's good. And, I agree with Scoob. Like, there's other ways to. We've had our match, and now we're out on the stage with another promo. You can have someone sit on commentary during like a match beforehand that's going on, right? Why is he out here? And then he just tells you during that time, or you can have him broadcast on the side of the screen, like during the match itself for 30 seconds or whatever it is you want to do. Mm-hmm. It was just, I'll drop an F-bomb here, but keep this fucking thing moving. Like it was, like even now it seemed like a bit of a slog just at the 1 hour match. So, but this was a good match. We then had not Brendan Beretta. That ended up with a pull apart where it looked like Carson Drake was going to cash in on after what's his name, Casanova. Gets the win, but it's Brendan Beretta jumps in the ring and there's a big pull apart there to set something else up, which I thought was an all right ending. But then we had this kid, wild card Christian Napier. What's he doing? He's on the stage and he's cutting a promo. And just I felt like he was young and small, and he's bringing out this guy Vincent Nothing, who comes out to destroy Ashton Day pretty quickly and solidly. Do either one of you guys watch this match?
No.
All right. We'll go through the I guess the rest of the results then, and apologies to everybody. We didn't get through it. It's just like the tagline says, 3.5 hours, just too long for anything, man.
Unless I'm tripping acid, I ain't got 3.5 hours to do. Thing.
It could have easily been knocked down to 3 hours, which is still a lot of wrestling. But it's one of these things that if you're having something like this, highlight your titles.
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, like they had the Julius Caesar Toga Battle Royal. Okay, that's cool. But it doesn't have to go on forever. It can be a 7 to 10 minute match. That's cool. Throw about 10 people in there. You can make or break a name. Some of them are just jobbers. That's cool. They're just starting out. But that's how you work your way up the ladder. But I mean, just having a match to have a match, I'd rather have 7 or 8 good matches to great matches than 10 to 12. Okay, these are good, but we have these championship matches, which are good, but then we have these matches of these are nobodies that I've heard of. I understand you're wanting to make something of somebody, but I have no interest in this. It's not for a title. It's not for a chance at a title. Give me something tangible.
Yeah, and there were 10 or 11 matches on this whole thing, start to finish, which seems like a fair bit. There was the Exodus tag team title match where TME, and I'll be completely upfront, I don't know any of these names.
The main event.
What's that? The main event.
The main event, yep.
Duke Davis and Gannon Jones Jr. defeated Alienated Youth. That's a good tag team name. Martian Webb and Riley Reinhardt, and Major League, J-Rock and Rex Brody in an 11-minute three-way match. I don't like three-way matches to begin with, but that's what happened there. And then you mentioned the Julius Caesar Memorial Toga Battle Royal. That's kind of funny. Julius Caesar Memorial.
Oh, it's a Rome theme. Let's do a fucking toga match. So original, guys.
Yes. The names in it, Sebastian, Nick Hamrick, Mike the Agent, Hunter, Gaston LaRue, Fox Vineyard, Cowpoke Paul. That's a classic name. Connor Knox, Bryson Teller, Austin Mulatalo, who I recall from Memphis.
Yep.
Used to have that
That
tag.
makes me wonder if Gaston LaRue is also Prince Gaston from Memphis.
Oh, I wonder. I'll click on the name and I'll look that up. And Anthony Musso are defeated by Towel Boy. Oh.
What?
Yeah, Towel Boy is the winner of that match.
What kind of fucking what was it? CZW or they had the fucking comic book hero wrestlers and the fucking Power Rangers and shit. Fucking Towel Boy. What the fuck? Pardon my French.
Where's Waterboy? Waterboy, Cowboy, Ball
You
Boy.
can do it.
He's got his own Pro Wrestling Tees page, Gaston LaRue. I wonder if we see if it's the same guy. Maybe somebody told him to change his name. Is he in Memphis? No, not really. Must be a different guy. It is a different guy.
Yeah, that's a different guy.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Anyway, I just look to get some of the no-name talent who are still coming up, I guess, into a match. The toga match, Billy says, reminds me of the toga party in the movie Animal House. Yes.
Yeah.
70s classic. Then we get, I might watch this one, Tiffany Nieves with Blake Banks defeating Lily Ruiz in the NWA Exodus Pro Midwest Women's title match. She is already the champion, and she goes 9 minutes. I caught a few minutes of this one. I like Tiffany Nieves.
Yeah.
Am I saying her last name right? Nieves?
Yeah. Yep.
As close as I can possibly get with this mouthful of bloody chiclets that I live with. Good talent. And I can't say anything more than that, having not seen it. But then there is the final. I did watch. I hope you guys managed to get around to seeing it. It is the final Flowers match between EC3, former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, and the guy who's staring at us on the screen right now underneath Dave's photo. By the way, just inspired thumbnail, Jeremy.
He does have a piping hot bowl of ramen noodles on his head, so I'd be fucking grimacing in pain too.
And he takes on Richard Holiday, I think one of the best free agent talents in around today anyway in North America. I think he's amazing.
I had him before the leukemia that he had.
I don't remember exactly what it was. I'll look it up though.
Before the cancer,
yeah,
the health scare. I had him tapped as like a next in line or WWE. What would have been what has now became ID'd or ID WWE ID. I had him next up for an NXT run. Just phenomenal talent, phenomenal character. Has that character to lock the fuck in. Has variations of it, both heel and face. A 5-tool player if there ever has been.
Right. Hodgkin's lymphoma is what he had.
Okay, lymphoma.
Stage 4, so as serious as it gets. Without going into, the final stage. What'd you guys think of this one?
I think my one critique is EC3 is a little too caricature at times in matches. Sometimes I think he gets a little too wrapped up in selling and trying to get it over that he goes a little too over the top with shit. But other than that, it phenomenal match between the two. I want to go back and watch it more, be able to pay more attention to it. I was kind of flashing through it a little bit, trying to squeeze it in before we went live. But I'm looking forward to watching it in its entirety.
I wouldn't say it was my favorite match of EC3's, but he always gives a solid performance. Holiday, I think is always like at that step or half step, higher, a bit campy. I think to your point, Jeremy, especially near the end, I thought it was kind of that he's behind me now, isn't he? Sort of look, right? I thought, not my favorite cup of tea. What do you think, Dave?
Both guys gave it a good effort. I liked the match, even though there was, a lot of outside interference here and there, who's on whose side, that kind of thing. But it brought the story to an end because, if you've followed any of what Richard Holiday has been doing, he's like, give me my flowers now. Well, it's a casket match and the flowers.
Yeah.
He gave him his flowers. There were some people that when they said it was going to be a casket match, said that it was in bad taste due to his health condition that he had. But it's one of these things, it's storytelling. They're wrapping everything together in a bow to finish off the story. It was done in the best way possible, I think, even with all the outside interference. They wrapped up the story, and now Holiday can move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully, they'll take that story that if Tom and EC3 are done, that EC3 will have somebody that he needs to battle. Hopefully, Holiday can follow him to the NWA and say, hey, the Cleveland story's done, but I'm not done with you yet. I'm back from the grave. Boom.
Now, at this moment, Hammerstone is no longer under contract with TNA.
Yep.
Could we possibly see a somewhat reforming of the dynasty?
I'd love to see that. I don't know if AEW if that's something they'd want. But why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Why not? If Max can do it and need some help in storyline wise, they're all good friends anyway. Yeah. So why not? Just give it a try. If it works out, more power to you. If it doesn't, if they've signed him to a year contract, throw him over on ROH or let him work the indies, and then that's it.
I will say this about EC3 because he's a different cat when it comes to his outlook on pro wrestling and the way he does stuff, and sometimes that's good. Like I was a big, and I think one of the only ones I know, a big believer in what Control Your Narrative was supposed to be and what it could be. Yeah. And, but it's hung around way too long and it hasn't gone anywhere, but it just languishes in what? I don't understand what this is about. Just drop it. Like, there's reasons groups break up. There's reasons storylines change. Let's move along from CYN now would be my feeling. Hammerstone in the NWA, Willie? I don't know. I want Hammerstone on a bigger stage than the NWA can provide right now. That's just me.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, we can't really give, I don't think, a rating to something that we didn't watch everything that was on because it was so long. But overall, I'd say I thought it was, again, good quality, good wrestling, good sound, decent, okay lighting, no problems with the cameras. It was just on the downside for me. It was just too long, too slow, and I kind of wish that it had moved along a little faster. But it definitely makes me want to watch Exodus, Pro moving forward and see what's up. What did you think, Dave? Did you same kind of lines?
Well, I mean, overall, I'm glad they're actually having signature live events, that they're actually showing them on YouTube, because something is better than nothing.
Sure.
And it's one of these things that, I mean, you have JCP, you have Exodus, you have Duke City Wrestling. If you have all these different companies that are part of the NWA, that are territories doing shows, I don't see why the NWA wouldn't be willing to do, like I've said before, the NWA USA, do a highlight show of some of these events, or if they do weeklies, just do a monthly show of, hey, here's what's happening around the territories, and show 2, 3, 4 matches, make it a half-hour show. And it's keeping you informed of what's happening outside of the NWA. So if Dante shows up on NWA programming on a Power, you'll know who he is. You'll have some idea. You have something to look back on. But I mean, overall, I mean, it was a good show. It just, maybe it's my age. I'm not wanting to stay invested in something that's over 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Give me a good 2-hour show and I'm good.
Look, man, I love Lord of the Rings. I thought it was the greatest trilogy, like the greatest 3 movies of a series overall. Each one of them is 3 hours. It's hard. It's hard to watch 3 hours of something that I love, let alone something that I can, Jeremy's like, you watch that shit?
It puts me, dude. I remember reading the Lord of the Rings book growing up, and The Hobbit and all that shit. When the movies came out, I sat down wholeheartedly ready to watch, and 5 minutes in, I was fucking out. And I have tried numerous times to watch it, and every time it just knocks me. It's better than any sleep medication.
Well, there you go. I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I think Willie's right. B- is what I would give this from what I watched it.
That's what I was gonna say. A high C+, low B-, just because of time.
Yeah.
It's just 3.5 hours. I break up fucking. I'm glad that they started breaking up WrestleMania into 2 nights, and even then I break that up.
Yeah.
I can't sit down and watch all of that. I don't have that. For one, I don't have that attention span anymore. And for two, I don't have that time to dedicate to something like that anymore.
Yeah. I forgot to put this one out. Is it hard to connect with the Exodus roster because they're seeing once a month? Maybe, I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't. This is my first go around with watching it, so I was intrigued by the card, and like I said, I do want to go back and watch this, but I'll be watching it at work in bits and pieces and spread out over a couple of days.
I agree with Willie on Harry Potter. I couldn't get into it either. But anyway, let's move on from that. Next week we'll go to another territory. Probably where do we got to go next? Probably there's a Mid-America now, right? We should maybe head over there.
Okay.
We'll go to one of the next ones and figure it out this coming week as we go through all of them. In the meantime, let us go to the segment we like to call Championship Wrestling from Jeremy.
Attention, everyone. One.
School is in session.
Oh, boy, is this great!
Let me talk to you.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
It's time for Championship Wrestling from Jeremy.
The nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty. I love it.
I do too.
Stage 4 of the 7 levels of hate. Tell us all about it.
So we've got stage 4, 7 levels of hate, 2 out of 3 falls. This happened at a Metro Pro Wrestling TV taping on July the 21st of 2012 in Kansas City, Kansas, not Missouri. As the match started, commentary made mention that Pearce was running 102 temperature, and honestly, Pearce did look like shit. You could tell that the man was sick. As the match started, Cabana easily gained the upper hand, and then which in turn caused Pearce to start arguing with a fan who had a megaphone. And Cabana came over to embrace the fan and cause Pearce to back off, but then start threatening to leave and never return if the megaphone isn't disposed of. Again, I love how in every match so far they have incorporated the crowd, even in just one instance, but the consistent over these 4 matches they have made sure to get the crowd physically involved. It is just a testament to the fact that these 2 men are entertainers and truly looking to entertain the crowd and give them their money's worth and then some. After this exchange, Cabana had the opportunity to do more damage to Pearce while he was still on the floor, but instead chose to get back in the ring and taunt Adam. This bit cold in the ass as Pearce took the time to regroup. When Pearce got back in the ring, he immediately went into a more technical Roman Greco style, keeping Colt off of his feet and on the mat. This was short-lived, though, as Colt was able to reverse into a head scissors. Pearce was able to escape and get Cabana in a headlock on the mat, but he looked drained. We got a series of rest holds down on the mat for the next few moments before both men were back on their feet. As they came up, Colt got Adam in a headlock. Pearce was able to bounce off the ropes and then use that momentum to break the hold, sending Cabana into the ropes. Pearce went for a clothesline, but Colt was able to duck that and hit a lion salt. He hooked the leg, but only got a 2 count. Pearce then whipped Colt into the corner, but immediately gave chase as Cabana landed. Pearce whipped Colt into the corner, but didn't immediately give chase. And as Cabana landed, Pearce then charged, but went straight into a forearm. This stunned Adam, and Colt came off the ropes, ducked a clothesline, and then ducked a punch. With Colt now behind Adam, Colt wrapped Pearce up around the waist and went for a roll-up. To make sure that he locked it in, Colt wisely went into a bridge, but Adam seized that opportunity to get a hold of Colt's arms, which in turn forced his shoulders to the mat. The ref counted, and this little detail got me. He used both hands as he was counting, and for the first time ever that I'm aware of, we got a double pin in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the first fall. Making this a sudden death match was a stroke of brilliance to me. Yeah. With that said, I never want to see this happen in another match again because if it happens on a bigger stage, it'll never stop happening again. We'll never stop seeing that little swerve. It won't be every time, but it'll be every other or 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. It just won't stop. This is theirs now and forever and ever. And if you happen to be watching Mr. Pearce, because I did tag you on Facebook, please don't suggest this to anyone in the WWE or anyone else. Some things are meant to be one-offs. After that pin, though, we got a 30-second rest period, but Pearce wasted no time and spent that 30 seconds inflicting as much punishment as he could on Cabana. Cole was able to get Pearce back in the ring. However, as he was getting back in, Pearce got a headlock and attempted to suplex Colt over the ropes. Colt blocked it, and the two went back and forth before Adam was finally successful. He was only able to get a 1 count, though, with his pin attempt. Colt kept going to his ribs from here, rubbing them every chance that he had. Adam was able to get a few pinfalls during this time, but only 2 counts, which led him to accusing the rope of slow counts. With Colt on his knees begging Pearce to hit him again, Adam obliged again and again. Pearce went to deliver one last punch and proclaimed that this one was going to put Colt down. That is not what happened, however. Colt blocked the shot and had a few right hands of his own to give to the future general manager. This was short-lived as Cabana shot off the ropes and Adam delivered a thunderous spine buster and got the cover. Again, though, either by sheer will or a supernatural force powering him along, Colt was able to kick out at 2. Pearce shifted his focus to the jeering fans, and this cost him as it allowed Colt to recover a little bit. As Pearce went to the ropes and came off the second turnbuckle, he ended up getting a face full of Colt's boots in the process. Colt was unable to really capitalize, however, as Pearce quickly regained control, rolling Colt over and locking in Colt's own move, the Billy Goat's Curse, dead in the middle of the ring. From there, Colt started clawing and scraping, inching his way to the ropes before breaking the hold. Colt then channeled his inner Naomi and hit Adam with a standing flying butt bump, a true technician's move. This only amounted to a 2 count for Colt, and Pearce started pleading to Colt. Colt held out his hand, and Pearce accepted it, but from here, Colt delivered a tomahawk chop to Adam's head before he was whipped into the ropes. Colt ducked as Adam came off the ropes, and Adam took advantage, planting Colt on the top of his head, into the mat with a pile driver. Again, however, Adam was only able to get a 2 count by grabbing the rope. By grabbing the ropes, and I asked myself, how in the fuck is Colt still finding the wherewithal to stay in this match? This infuriated Pearce, and he grabbed a chair from the floor. As he wound up, the ref grabbed it away, and Colt got a roll-up in. The ref was slow to get in position, and Colt only got a 2 count. Pearce charged in, and Colt nailed a knee to the forehead. On noodle legs, Colt started setting up for the bionic elbow. Pearce saw what was coming and caught Colt in the abdomen with a knee lift. Clearly still rattled from the previous exchange, though, Pearce came off the ropes and Cabana sidestepped and was able to get up for a crucifix pinning maneuver. This still only resulted in a 2 count. Pearce rolled out to the apron, and while there, reached into his trunks and pulled out what had to be by this point a very sweaty fist pack. He got Colt a few times in the head as Colt hoisted him up before they both crashed into the mount. Pearce got the cover and the ref made the 3 count, but he didn't see Colt get his foot up on the ropes, and before he could make the call to call the match, he did see it and ended up not making the call. But during all this, Adam was going to get his perceived prize. And as he got to his feet, Pearce saw that the ref was saying the match wasn't over yet. Colt was able to get a hold of Pearce and lock in the Billy Goat's Curse. Adam reversed it, however, and sent Colt into the ref, knocking him down momentarily. This gave Pearce the opening he needed, and he nailed Colt right between the eyes with the title. The ref came to right after, conveniently making the 3 count and crowning Adam Pearce as a 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion at this point. And for the first time since 1981, an NWA World Heavyweight title change occurred in Kansas City, Kansas. Wow. I I had read a couple of different articles online about this, and I saw one where the guy stated that he felt that the 2 out of 3 falls should have happened sooner in the series. I can see why he may have came to that conclusion to an extent, but I think this is perfectly placed. Next week I'll be going over the dog collar match. I know match 7 is a steel cage match. Logically for me, this fits perfect. It's a good midway, and then the way that they structured it to where it wasn't a 2 out of 3 falls match. It was a pinfall that they worked into both of them eating the pin, and then it became sudden death overtime.
Yeah.
Again, for me, a pure stroke of genius with that. Again, something that I don't want to see ever happen again, because it will become cannon fodder.
Where does it sit in the 4 you've looked at so far? So I know number 3 is your favorite.
I would say this is a close number 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't as long as match 3. But match 3 and match 4 are come in at about 30 minutes, whereas the first 2 are about a little less than 15. I like a good 30-minute match whenever it's between 2 capable, competent challengers.
Right.
And these 2 men are miles above being capable and competent. This is, if I was running a wrestling school, this would be mandatory homework.
Right.
And by time you graduated, I would want you to be able to recite this word for word, front to back. I would want this to be in your lexicon of knowledge, because this is so far wrestling done right. I can't speak enough about the little details that they throw in. The crowd interaction, just getting the crowd involved, even if it's 1 or 2 individuals in the crowd. The rest of the crowd sees that and feels that could have been me feeling. I was a fan in the crowd that remembers getting pulled into not necessarily the action, but I have pictures of me on the King's shoulders walking around the ring at the Coliseum in Evansville, Indiana, and I'll never forget that. I'll forget a lot of shit. I've forgotten a lot of shit. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I look forward to the next one, that's for sure.
I am too.
Yeah.
I love good dog collar match.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love a good dog collar match. So this one could end up being my number 1.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I look for pictures of the matches every time that you do one. There was nothing for this one. Like, unless I'm going to screenshot stuff off of the video.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there. It's brutal.
No. There was only like 1,200 views on it on Adam's channel. Not a whole lot of people have watched it either. So and he's got all 7 on his channel, plus the behind the scenes as well. So
I sometimes wonder if, like, I don't know how many people are in the room, but like 200 or something like that, 250 people.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, like, do they have any idea that they're watching something that's as good as this is going to be long term?
Right.
Like, there's something that, as far as feuds go, has to be up there with some of the greatest of in how it's drawn out of all time.
Well,
Thank you very much.
It got me thinking as well, like with Hunter now running the show in the Fed, and we saw, I believe it was last year, that we got to see the Great Muta get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Never competed in the WWE or WWF.
Yeah.
Granted, he did compete in WCW, which is now owned by, but was never a WWE, WWF talent. And while Pearce is now currently talent in the form of a general manager, I'd love to see that man go into their Hall of Fame based off of this series of matches, if for no other reason than this series of matches.
Yeah,
and get his fucking flowers for this.
Yeah, they really look at it. They have like Dusty Rhodes and the Rock and Roll Express, who technically competed there, but like that's based off of their careers in NWA, WCW, everywhere else, right? So I think they look at their Hall of Fame as the Hall of Fame. We're gonna do wherever and anywhere now. So here's hoping. I mean, it's worth it to have them in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
All right, buddy. Thanks very much. Let's go to. Are you there, Dave? He is. He's there. Okay. Let's go to a segment we call "I Respect You, Booker Man." All right. Well, Dave's got some serious thoughts. As I pull up your thing here it is. Who needs to step up in the NWA and who needs to step out? What do you got, Dave?
All right. Going to try to end on a positive note. So let's start with what wrestlers in the NWA need to step away at this time. Now, I've picked 4 that need to step away and 4 that I believe need to step up. First off, if the Fixers are no longer, Jay Bradley needs to step out. And I'd send him on a tour of the territories to either rebuild him as a character, since he is no longer part of the Fixers. He can go and rebuild himself as someone who can get others ready for a chance at being on Power.
Oh, did we lose Dave? I can't hear you. You're on mute, Jeremy.
Dave has no power.
Oh no, he'll be back in a second.
Yeah,
Jay Bradley.
Yeah. I like that guy. He's another one that, like a lot like Lord Crew. He can deliver a good pulled punch. He can get down and dirty with it. I've liked him since back in fucking TNA whenever he was wearing the little newsboy cap and shit, pulling an Irish gimmick of sorts.
That's right. Willie says Slimeball Spectaculars Rolando need to stay out of the NWA. Well, Dave, as you come back here, these are to Willie fans. Get the Slimeball Spectaculars and Rolando out. But back to you. We were on Jay Bradley when you conked out there.
Yeah, sorry, we're having some storms and we just
All
had
good.
lights flicker and things happened. So hopefully I don't fall out of sorts and fall off the face of the earth. And stick around for the next couple minutes. The UA, he could be a player coach out on the territories. If you know about the spoilers from what happened last night in Dothan, I'm not going to spread the word on that, but I'd take him out of the picture for the time being. Secondly, Baby Doll, otherwise known as Miss Star. While the women's division isn't overly stacked with talent, Miss Star just seems to be there as almost a B player. She's been in a tag team with both Ella Envy and Tiffany, but she isn't the standout in the tag team. Maybe have her also featured on a few territory shows. This would help her stand on her own, as well as be used in a possible storyline in working in a territory, possibly winning a title and working her way back to the NWA. Third, needs to step out, Zion. In my opinion, he's just a masked jobber. The NWA already has another masked jobber in Gags, so I'm not sure if Idol is still in the picture. But Zion personally doesn't do anything for me. His story doesn't flush out. Have him work with the talent from the territories to get them ready. He's an established wrestler. He's been in the bigs. He's a good wrestler. He knows how to work, but he's just not doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, in my opinion, Max needs to just go away, not permanently, but just for a while. Max has done just about anything and everything in the NWA. Max is better in the women's division than in the men's, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But Max is just lost in the shuffle. Now, Max recently lost a match to their old tag team partner, Judas, now known as Frank, in the first round of the #1 contendership for the Jax Dane Memorial Tournament for the 10 pounds of gold. But Max just seems lost without having a spokesperson like the Sinister Minister. But I'm thinking that Billy just keeps Max around because of the aspect of them being non-binary. Mm. But it's one of these things, Max needs to take a breather and then come back bigger and better than ever. So that's who needs to step out at this time. It's not a permanent thing. It's just step away for a while. How can we miss you if you're still around?
Right.
Now it's time to look at who needs to step up in the NWA. We'll start off with Wrecking Ball Legursky. It's time for the big man to shine. Have him with a more serious attitude, not just the big goofy guy. He's no longer in a tag team. Maybe just have him just rely on himself, do the training. He doesn't have to split the time in the ring. So he needs to take this more serious, get in better shape. Maybe have him be so serious that he goes after like the King Kong Bundy gimmick, where I'm going to pin this guy, but I want a 5 count. I'm better than a 3 count. Have something to set him apart. Yeah, have something to set him apart from the other heavyweights in the NWA right now. He doesn't need to always win a few here and there, but working against the undercard guys. Give him some work with some of the bigger names, but he comes up just short. And it's one of these that he doesn't always have to win. He can be the underdog that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Secondly, we have Daisy Kill. And while he's part of a tag team, I'd go the route of having Daisy Kill be a poor man's Heartbreak Kid and use Talos as his diesel, as his enforcer. They can still tag up every once in a while if needed, but have Daisy Kill I'd have him go after the junior heavyweight title with a possible short run with the belt, and then have him do a territorial tour. And looking at him, his mood, it reminds me a little of Raven. He just needs to be more serious. Drop the ukulele and almost do the what about me, what about Raven? Be more of a moody and serious wrestler, and have him borrow from all these different people. That wrestling is just that, borrowing and making an adjustment. Have him do the borrowing of the Heartbreak Kid and Diesel literally have him be the poor man's Heartbreak Kid.
I fucking love that.
He's not at the point where he's ready for the national or the 10 pounds of gold, but have him do the junior heavyweight and act the big star. I love wrestling. He started wrestling in 2018. He's been wrestling for 7 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, I mean, he's not the biggest, he's not the best, but what he does very well.
Yeah.
So I'd have him take the poor man's HBK, still have Talos. Talos is a big guy. Use him as a character that he's a specialty character. He's not an everyday wrestler. So it's one of these things of just use him to your advantage, have him be there in the background and only step up when needed. Thirdly, we have Slade. First off, drop Rolando and get Slade a spokesperson or a manager that can talk for him and you take serious. I'd drop Rolando and bring back Pollo as his ballet manager.
Pollo, wow, yeah.
Pollo wouldn't let Slade be no answer.
Yep. Tag Slade with silent but violent. He's a serious wrestler. We haven't seen him due to the taping schedule. We haven't seen him. The last time was in December at Looks at Kill. So he ended up winning the #1 contendership, the 4-way match. So he has a shot at Alex Taylor and the junior heavyweight title. In my opinion, he looks too big to be a junior heavyweight. But that's only because the wrestlers before him that have had the junior heavyweight title, when you look and say, okay, Kerry Morton is the biggest of all those wrestlers. Kerry's just about 6 foot. He's not chiseled. It's one of these things that junior doesn't always mean small. It's a cruiserweight that is a smaller wrestler. A junior heavyweight is someone under 220 pounds. I'd knock it down to under 200 so you can account for, and every once in a while pop weight or something to that effect to fit into that mold. But it's one of those things that a lot of the wrestlers that have been junior heavyweights are on the smaller side. And Slade is just, it's because he's tall. He's lean, but he's tall. I'd rather, have him go after the junior heavyweight title or have him go after CBD, have him go after Carson Drake and the TV title. He has looks of a real wrestler. He's serious and to the point. Pollo would be great on TV as his advocate, as his ballet manager, whatever you want to call it. It's one of those things, somebody to do the talking, and his tagline, silent but violent. I do my talking in the ring.
Nice.
And last but not least, Judas, the man formerly known as Judas, now known as Frank, now under the management of Brandon McCord, a.k.a. the Hobo, if you know from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. But Frank is now under Idol Sports Management. Now, he has the size. He's 6'7", close to 275 pounds. He has experience, a 24-year veteran. But it's one of these things. He's been around for a while. He's wrestled in different areas, but he's up there in age. He's close to 50 years old. His time is now. That he needs to step up or step out. This is one of those times where he can step out. He's changed his look. I personally don't like the Frank name, but we'll see where it goes. There's really no explanation why he's Frank. It's just, oh, he's Frank. Boom. He was the last time on Power, that was from January 11th when they were at Shockwave in 26. So he was going to Max Dane Memorial Tournament for a shot at the 10 pounds of gold. He defeated his old tag partner Max. But, I mean, I don't see him going after the 10 pounds of gold. He matches up size-wise with Tom. But I'd rather have him go after Mims and the national title, build up with a few wins. But like I said, he's not ready for the 10 pounds of gold. Have him go after that national title. We haven't heard anything from Mims in months. And it's because of their taping schedule. It's so far behind. It's one of these things that he would make Mims look good as a champion and as a contender going after as a challenger. But, I mean, we'll see where this goes. I mean, I don't know. It's the start of a new storyline, so who knows? But it's one of those things that there's several people that if you take them away, it won't harm them. But there's others that if you territories and help build talent, because it's a merry-go-round. Every once in a while, somebody has to jump off and somebody new has to jump on. So give us a break. If they're doing the schedule the way it is and we're months behind, I can't remember the last time Mims was on TV. Yeah, it's one of these things that if we don't see you, you must not be important. And when they're not showing champions on TV, they don't have to be defending a belt. Mims can be out there watching somebody. He just walks out, stands there, or takes a seat and sits right by the ring, or goes and joins Joe and Danny on commentary and just watches. This is how you scout your opponents. Or they can do how WWE and AEW does, go backstage. If there's a monitor in the back and you have a couple guys standing around talking and going, "Hey, Mims, check this guy out. You've wrestled him before, but he's back and he has a different name. What's up with that?" It's one of these things that keep these stories going. It doesn't always have to involve wrestling. Now, the 4 wrestlers I mentioned about stepping away, it really doesn't hurt the NWA to have these people step away because they're not always on your screen. They're not always in an important storyline. They're secondary players, and that's not a bad thing. You always need a secondary player. It's one of those that when you have a tag team break up, they always go, somebody's going to be the Shawn Michaels and somebody's going to be the Marty Jannetty. It doesn't always have to be that way.
Oh, Dave's having some storm problems right now. See if he's still there. See if he's there. Still kind of frozen.
Wrecking Ball had his shot at a title. It's one of those things. You always have to have good secondary players.
You're back, Dave. We could hear you. The storms in the Baltimore area, guys. Jeremy, you look like you were giving your granddaughter the atomic drop there. I know it's all the work, though. It's all the work.
That was my grandson.
Oh, was it? I was so
No, but Nat Nat lives in Wisconsin now.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Yeah, she's right there at the Wisconsin Michigan border. Lives in what is it, Marinette? Marinette, Wisconsin.
Well,
close to you. Well, closer to you than we are.
Yeah, close, pretty close to us. I guess Dave's dropped. So hopefully he'll come back before we sign off here. I'm going down to Philly. Going to the Crockett Cup. For anyone else is going, I was talking to Rick Del Santo about it on offline. That's in May, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'll be. I mean, at Pennsylvania. It's not Wisconsin, but it's still closer than you guys are right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get out your way at some point.
I was thinking about I was thinking about Crockett Cup, and then we had to invest in new transport, and we're also have planned to go hit up and visit the kiddos in Wisconsin this year. So
amazing! That's great.
Crockett Cup just ain't in the an NWA trip just isn't in the cards this year, but I am going to be actively putting back for that for next year. I will be meeting as many of the Alliance fam as possible in person.
That's amazing. I look forward to that. We got this weird thing with the border now, and we don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Just, for those who don't know it. But by the way, welcome, Dave Valentine. Never haven't seen you before, so nice to see you, my friend. I'm up in Canada, so I mean, my wife and I have our passports, and I think everything's still kind of kosher right now. But they're doing weird things between like Quebec and Vermont, where they're closing down this 100-year-old deal where we used to just kind of walk in from both sides and to a library.
Kind of like they've got where you can do it in Mexico as well.
Yeah, they don't. And they're not. It's in a library where you Canadians can walk in on the Canadian side, but because the front door is in the U.S., the Americans actually control the border there. But you could go inside and technically be in the United States and kind of walk out the other end. But we can't do that anymore. They've closed everything down. So we don't know what's going to happen. There's a weird tariff war that has nothing to do with the great fun of pro wrestling, but we kind of wonder how we're supposed to be spending our money and while it's going on. But we'll figure it out, man. Like I think Jay's going. We'll get Jane to come over, and I know Sam and Lou are going to Herb's Fan Fest down in St. Louis the same weekend. But
okay,
and Scoob will be there, and we'll get some people in there. It'll be good. But hopefully that passes, and we'll be able to do it up next year after that. But Scoob just put up. He's in a massive thunderstorm right now, so he's lost power. So
understandable.
Yeah. So we will say goodbye on his behalf. Thank you all for being here. Before I say goodbye, where are you on social media now, Jeremy?
You can find me on the Book of Face at Jeremy Miller and on the Blue Sky at Alliance Jeremy, I believe.
I'm not anywhere right now. I don't have a Facebook account anymore, but I am on Messenger. I'm just kind of off social media. Like you said last week, Jeremy, I'm on Blue Sky, but I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I did remember this week to post to share the stream link on there. So
that's awesome.
I'm getting more aware of it.
That's good.
It takes a little time.
It's been a while for me. Most importantly for us, though, at the Alliance blog on all the social media platforms. It's we're everywhere, and alliance-wrestling.com, of course. And then join us every Thursday for the Alliance guys. It's the original Alliance guys. That's J Cal. That's DKM. That's Jaden from representing Dog Wrestling out there in the New Jersey area. And then Jay himself, the boss, El Presidente, El Patron, at Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific for the pre-party. the hour before Power.
And real quick, speaking of t-shirts, I am currently wearing my Radioactive Poppy Danny Limelight shirt. I saw on Facebook yesterday where our very own World United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion has booked another acting gig to appear. He's from what he said, that this role is taking him into what it seems like new territory as far as character work and stuff. He has a movie out on Tubi where it's the guy that played Hellboy originally, Ron Perlman. Yeah. What's the name of that movie? I can't. I'll put it up on the socials, but I watch it. Damn good. He pops up a couple of times in it for a few moments, has a few lines, but he's out there grinding, guys. He's getting work in any and everywhere, and it's all great for him.
And the UWN had a tape last month, right? And he defended the world title. Radioactive Poppy, so he's well over, I think, 800 days now as champ. He's putting down challengers left, right, and center in the days to come. That's it. That's all. So until next time, for Dave Scooby, we'll see you at the matches.
Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.